What I love about the projector is some of the simple convenience things that they've done, right? First of all, you have the little gimbal that allows it to move left to right. But then also when you power it on, I'm turning it on now, you have this little door that opens up and then reveals your actual lens. Now in today's video, we're taking a look at the XGIMI HORIZON S Max 4K projector. And this projector is going to be suitable for any home, and it could also not only work indoor, but it could be used outdoor as well. The projector is 4K, is packed with features, has Android TV built in, and it's giving you image quality like this, suitable in daylight and also at nighttime. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now the Horizon S Max is packed with features, and it's a very capable projector that has one of the coolest startup routines that I've seen in a long time. Literally, it has this little door that comes down as you basically turn it on and basically turns on the projector. And it's also very fast performing. This is a 4K projector that has a whopping 3,100 ISO lumens. That's bright. And it also can range anywhere from 40 to 200 inches. So this could be viewed as a TV replacement, literally. It has a dual light source, which is going to give you the opportunity to have different experiences when it comes to video clarity or quality. If you want to have something that is highly saturated, you could use a tri-laser mode. If you'd like to have something that is a little bit different, and you'll see that performance in the video, you'll choose the dual light mode. That's also going to give you a lot of different capabilities when it comes to brightness and adjustments. And the cool thing about this is that this projector has 20,000 hours of battery life, or not battery life, 20,000 hours of lamp life, which is incredible, and it's also pretty standard when it comes to projectors that are high performing like this. So you're looking for something that's going to last a very long time. Now this projector has Android TV standard coming in it, which means all your streaming solutions are going to be available on the projector, except for Netflix. To accomplish that, they've included a dongle that allows you to use Google TV to get Netflix. Now from an audio perspective, you're looking at two 12-watt speakers, Harman Kardon, and also you're looking at the support of various of the video formats that you would expect out of the market. HDR10, HLG, Dolby Vision, IMAX Enhanced. It also has a game mode, and the game mode is going to give you, again, low latency gaming up to 20 milliseconds. Now, it also is BT220 or 2020 110 compliant, which is also good. And basically what these numbers mean in all of these different formats is that you're going to get a great video experience and that it really adheres to the standards out on the market. Now, all these type of features and certifications just mean that you're going to get a great video experience. Colors are going to be as close as you want them to be to cinematic in nature or high saturated if that's what you are into. Now, it also has a lot of flexibility when it comes to auto keystone. It has also autofocus, and it also has intelligent screen alignment. And that intelligent screen alignment means that as you're pointing against the wall, it will adjust. And if you have a frame like I do, it will basically conform itself to your projection screen, which is a time saver, and it basically makes sure that you have the best alignment. It has optical zoom, digital zoom, DTS Virtual X, DTS HD, Dolby Audio, Dolby Digital Plus, and you can see super packed with features. Wi-Fi 5, which is dual band, Bluetooth 5.1, so that you can connect to other devices, a DC port, HDMI, eARC support, only one though, but it doesn't really need that much connectivity because all the feature it has, and then it has two USB ports as well. So let's take a closer look. A lot of features here to like. Now, as I mentioned, I have this projector running on the floor, which is not in any way how I would recommend you have a projector, but I have seen some really interesting placements of projectors. And I just wanted to test, again, that extreme use case where you don't have the perfect setting. So literally, you can see to the left my sofa. You can see the projector just sitting on the floor. And let's face it, you see all these ads where you see people having, $5,000 projectors sitting on the floor projecting on a screen. So hey, why not use this as part of our test case? And the image that you saw was on a 120-inch screen from Elite Screen, and the projector's on the floor. Just keep that in mind. Now, the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press the remote right here. And I want you to watch how cool this is. This projector, what I love about the projector is some of the simple convenience things that they've done. Right? First of all, you have the little gimbal that allows it to move left to right. But then also when you power it on, I'm turning it on now, you have this little door that opens up and then reveals your actual lens. And what you can see here is how fast that started projecting, right? So I love the fact that this is something that kicks in so fast. And if you want, this will do some adjustment. You can set it up so it doesn't do adjustment. It's really up to you how you want to have it set up. But daylight viewing in this is very doable. You can see the kind of light that I have. Right now it's around 9:30 in the morning, and I'm doing this recording. I don't have any blackout shades because you can see, all the light around us. And this could be a TV replacement. It really could be if you have the right setting. I wouldn't use this as a TV replacement if it was sitting on the floor. But I wanted to show you this really cool feature where, again, if you turn it off, let's do that again. Look at how this little door closes. Let me go ahead and tell it to power off. There, it powers off. And then if you want to see how quickly will it turn on again, you're going to see me. I'm going to put this on camera, push the button. See that in real time? This is fast. And then boom, you're going to see the camera turn on, or there it is. So the days of waiting for a projector to start up, this is pretty instantaneously. And I'll tell you, this was a shutdown. Like when I pushed the button, I set it to power off. So this isn't, because there's different modes where you can actually tell it to turn off the projector, turn off the light source. This is not that. I'm actually choosing the power off, not the display off. Let me show you what display off looks like. So this is display off. See the difference? Display off, you still have this little door open. And I'm going to go ahead and go back. And let me see if I can make this turn on again. And then that's the on. Let me do the display off again so you can see that. And then I'm going to put the projector or the remote on screen. That's instantaneous, right? But I like shutting things off completely. So I'm going to do that power off completely. And the little door closes. I love that feature. Now, as I mentioned, the projector does include Google TV, and I'm guessing they've included this because of the lack of Netflix support. So it's nice that they have this in here. This is the 4K version, so it's really going to take advantage of the capabilities of the projector. The remote itself that it comes with is a nice remote. You can see it right here. It's what you would expect. I've had other XGIMI projectors, and I'd say that it's pretty standard, right, the experience. You have your Google button, you have your settings button, you have your power button, and you have your standard controls. Nothing really exciting or anything to really highlight outside of it feels good, it's light, and it does what it's supposed to do. The power brick is, oh my God, this thing is big. Check this out. No joke, look at this. This is a brick, and when I mean a power brick, I want to say it's almost the size of a standard brick for a home, maybe a little bit thinner. I know I'm probably exaggerating. This is big. So this is a big power brick, and you can see the adapter that it gets connected to. So it's large, right? And now the projector itself does have a real nice gimbal experience, right? So it's able to move around. And let me go ahead and do that again. I had a bag in there. Do it again, started from here. Now the projector does include Google TV, and it's the 4K version, and I'm guessing they're doing this because it doesn't support Netflix. So this is a good add-on that they have, and I'll show you where this gets connected. I like Google TV. It's a nice thing to have. The remote that it has is a standard remote, pretty similar to what I've seen before from XGIMI. Has your Google Talk button, has your home button, back button, all the standard buttons that you'd expect. Feels good in the hand, and it's lightweight. The power brick, and I do mean power brick, you're going to see this, guys. This is, I want to say, the size of a standard house brick. Well, maybe a little bit thinner. But look how big this thing is. It's massive inside it, and it's heavy too. So this is going to hurt somebody, no joke. The projector itself, really like the design. I think the design language for this projector, for a lifestyle projector, is nice. Has your speaker here, has, again, the shade that protects your lens and all the electronics that are so important to the quality of the projector. It's a gimbal, so it rotates, right? And look how effortless this is. So it rotates really nicely. Here you have where you put the power. You have a very simple implementation here. You have a power button, HDMI, and then what you have right here is your 2 USB outs. And that's pretty much all there is to it. On the bottom, you can see that there's some additional venting, and then we'll go ahead and turn it to the left so you can see nothing here, and then nothing here. So the thing I would say about this is that it does have Bluetooth connectivity, so if you want to share audio out, but you notice that there's no optical port out. No optical. Just be aware of that. right? So this is really about portability, and then also about that convenience of being able to put it anywhere. Now this projector comes with Google TV as one of the base offerings, but I did notice that after doing a search, and you'll see this right here, that if I try to find Netflix as an offering, it's not available. And for some of you, that may be a problem or something of concern. Watch this. Netflix. By doing that, notice how Netflix doesn't come up. Typically what that means is that the projector isn't certified for Netflix. There's certain licensing, there's certain things that have to be in place in order for Netflix to be on a device. So what they've done is they've included in the package, they've included Google TV, right? So we'll get this in focus in a little bit right here. So Google TV, the actual TV stick, this is a 4K stick that you can install for those of you who really are focused on having Netflix as part of your offering, which, let's face it, most of us are. So they do offer you an alternative that's not being supported by the projector's operating system itself. So you just plug that in into one of the HDMI ports that's available on the projector. Outside of that, I found that all the other services that you would expect are there. And you can see, a lot of them automatically listed here, right? So you have the ones that you would expect, but Netflix is not one of them. So just keep that in mind if you're looking for Netflix. Now, the operating system in its whole, in its entirety, with the exception of that app, is pretty complete. So this is standard Google TV. And as we go to the top here, we're going to go to the very top, you'll notice that it has the standard applications that are part of the Google TV experience. What options do you have when it comes to the projector settings? Because everything else is pretty much standard. So here what you have is auto keystone correction, which is automatically going to adjust the projector based on the angle that it is in relation to the wall. So if your wall has any kind of, let's say it's not square, this will help. If the projector is in a position where it's not square, it's going to adjust it. I have this projector sitting on the floor. I really like these type of projectors, which are lifestyle projectors, to be placed in places that are not as dedicated as something that sits on a stand somewhere, even though some of you may have that. But the point is, this has a gimbal. It basically has all these features. How well can it conform to some of the challenges that you have in a room? And the nice thing about these lifestyle projectors is that unlike traditional projectors, where the room has to conform to the projector in this case is conforming to the room. So basically what you have is keystone correction. You have auto keystone correction. You have a lot of image correction settings here where you can work with autofocus. You can do things manually if you want. I'm going to go into the manual so you can see what's going on here. So you can see the alignment. I can just go through any of these settings, and you can notice that side part. I can tuck it in if I like. Then I can go out. I can choose autofocus, and it's going to go ahead and do the focus for me. There's really nothing. I don't have to try to figure out is it right or not. Anytime I do this, my wife tells me it's not in focus. So I use the autofocus and she's happy. You have manual focus. You have also image zoom capability, so you can determine if you want to adjust this even further. You can do screen shifting, and the screen shifting also is going to help when it comes to position. If it's too high, too low, you'll be able to shift your screen on this area. You do have screen rotation, and then you have a wall color adaptation. This is pretty impressive, and unfortunately, I have a screen, or maybe that's fortunate. If you don't have a screen and you want to use this in a setting, or because this thing is so portable, you're taking this to a friend's home and you're going to make it a movie night over there, or you're going to go outside and you want to make it a movie night, and they may not have, for example, a screen. They may be using a sheet, right? Which is something that I've done. You could use this feature to adapt and match the projection to the actual screen so that you don't lose image quality. This is a cool feature, something definitely that I appreciate them having. You also then have projector placement options. So this gives you an opportunity to really see all the different places that you can put this. So if you want to use this in a theater environment or in a dedicated room, you can put this front ceiling, rear ceiling, or you could do auto vertical flip too. So a lot of options that you can have here. And it has, again, that gyroscope inside of it that knows what's going on with the projector. I really like that feature. Now, from a picture settings perspective, this laser has a lot of options. It has a tricolor laser, and then it basically has a dual light capability. And I'm going to switch so that you can see the difference. So here is the laser mode. And when I'm looking at the tri-laser, I will tell you that what I can tell, at least here, it's kind of hard to catch this on camera, is that it is slightly dimmer, right? The colors are going to be vivid, right? and but it is, and I would say a little bit more saturated. I really like tricolor, but the brightness is just a little bit less. Let me go ahead and switch it back to see if it comes up on camera, and let's let it kick in, enabling dual light, and then now that comes in. So I can see the way I'm looking at it as I'm looking at the white, notice where it says light source mode is a little bit crisper. So what I would recommend is watch the projector, because this is going to be important to you depending on the room that you're in. Tricolor laser may be fine. Dual light may be fine. It all depends on you. It depends also how red you want the reds, how green do you want the greens, if you're really looking for that vivid color. So play with these settings to see which one is the one that makes sense to you, and it will adapt for your needs. Here you have this adaptive brightness, which is going to adjust based on the room. I'm going to switch it on and see if anything changes. I think that we're pretty much good, so I don't see anything flipping here. You can also change the brightness if you'd like. Contrast enhancement is important. What this is going to do is, if you have a dark scene, and the scene, typically when you look at dark scenes, the human eye just focuses that it's dark. But there's a lot of detail, and there's a lot of detail that is captured in these scenes. And what this does is it makes the detail that's in the dark scenes more visible. When someone's walking, someone's passing, there are buildings. There's a lot of stuff in dark scenes that you may be missing. So I would encourage you to check this out, and maybe even watch a movie that you saw that has a lot of dark scenes in it to see what you missed. You'd be surprised how much detail is there. So this enhancement really enhances the dark scenes for you. The picture mode here, you can have standard, right? You have movie mode, you have sport. You can see all the ones that you have here. You can have high power mode. I'm on the standard mode. You do have a gaming mode, right? And this is going to give you the ability to reduce the latency. And let's face it, most projectors, right, just are never going to be as fast as a TV when it comes to latency as you're playing games. In this case, this projector does a really decent job. But again, I'm not I would say a hardcore gamer. When my kids use our projectors, they basically can tell that there's some latency. I frankly can't, where it's not enough where I'm really concerned about it. Over here is you have your Dolby Vision, right? And you also then have your IMAX enhancement, so you can see how that's set to auto. And it looks like the settings that I'm in won't allow it. Adjustment is only supported for Dolby Vision content. Yep, so there's no content right now that's being played that's Dolby Vision, so that's why it's not doing anything for me. You do have 3D video setup, which is important for those of you who like consuming 3D video content. And by the way, there are streaming services that provide this. There's some content on Disney that is 3D content based. And what you would have to do is just have the right glasses. And let's see, we can go in here. So basically what they've done is they've given you the ability to have grading, right? When this is enabled, right, all the manual adjustment settings, will affect what the system believes to be the appropriate color settings. Now, what I found with this is, most projectors now are coming out with their grading done at the factory. And that's going to give you how they believe, based on the science, how colors should be represented. What I do find in many cases is that many people want, let's say, more saturated colors. They want redder reds, yellow yellows, they want green greens, and that may not be representing real life. So I would say experiment with this, see how this looks to you, but you probably would be surprised that the true green isn't as green as you may like it. So try at your own peril, or experiment. All right, sound settings. I just want to show you some of the things that are going on here. And basically, you have great speakers on this projector. So you have Harman Kardon Original, you have DTS Virtual that you can set up. You have your sound modes, right? If you're watching a football game, switch it to game mode if that's something that you'd like, or sport mode actually. And then if you're gaming, I have mine set at movie, or you can set it up on standard depending on what you like. Experiment, that's all what it's about. You have volume balance capabilities here. You also then have output. So if you want to output this to an external speaker, that's something possible too. Even though it's portable, it does have all the features of a dedicated system. The last thing we'll talk about is the inputs, right? I don't have any kind of inputs at this point, but if you are using the dongle, one of the things that you can do is, and you have something connected, you can have the projector get powered on if the dongle gets activated. What that means that if you put away the remote, this is the remote that comes with the projector. If you put this projector away and you're using the one that comes with this one right here, the Google TV, as soon as you grab this remote and toggle it or enable it by just activating it, the projector will turn on. This is a good feature to have. So I typically have this on, and you'd want this because you don't want to handle two projector remotes, that is. So what's been my opinion or experience with this projector? Well, I like the brightness. I do like the gimbal type solution that it has and the swivel capabilities. I also like the fact that it has Android TV built in. The fact that they include a dongle for those of you who are using for Netflix, I think makes the solution complete. And love the portability. I think it's a really good looking projector, and you can mount this on the ceiling, put this on the floor, take it to your friend's house when you want to watch a baseball game or a football game, soccer game, take it outside. It just has a lot of flexibility given the size. And despite the fact the speakers are 12-watt speakers, it sounds really good. So don't be fooled based on the specs themselves. Nilda enjoyed our viewing experience with this projector. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.